guys, this is Shannon with Nearly Organic Noshing, and today I am making chicken tikka masala. Now, this is not a recipe I have ever done before. I was actually kind of scanning through YouTube and saw Jessa Duggar had posted a recipe on an easy crock pot chicken tikka masala. And I watched it and saw that she used a seasoning packet and all that. Looked for the seasoning packet, only available on Amazon, and I don't know if we're going to like this. So I looked down the list of ingredients that goes into the seasoning packet, and I had everything. So I decided I am going to try this recipe out, and I'm going to do a decent sized batch of it, and I'm going to split it up and give some to my kids and some to my parents if they want some. And if not, I'll just put the extra up in the freezer because I am pretty sure after looking at the list of ingredients that we are really going to like this. So I just went through all the different Pinterest recipes, and this is one that I pulled offline. I think the name of the site was Vegan Lovely. I will post a link down in the description of the recipe. So what it calls for, and I just have this written on my stove. I love dry erase markers. If you have a smooth surface, you can write on it. So right now I just am doing it on my stove. So it calls for 1 tablespoon of coriander, 1.5 tablespoons of paprika, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom, 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Now, we love things with nutmeg and cinnamon in them. My dad's family is Lebanese, so we like Arabic food, and we have lots of nutmeg and cinnamon and spices and pepper and stuff like that in those. I believe I have a hashwi and a baklava or batlawa dish, and I will link those videos. Those are 2 of the Arabic ones that I have made and posted. And then Chris loves cardamom. I've been making a chai tea blend for him. Actually, I keep it in this big jar right here, and make that for him at night. And I will link that video also in how to do that chai tea. It's almost like a cappuccino type mix. It's very creamy, delicious. So knowing that they love those, I'm pretty sure the family is going to love this. So I'm going to go ahead and start mixing the spices together. All right, so it says to start with a tablespoon of coriander. Sorry, I'm making a mess here. 1.5 tablespoons of paprika. There's 1. And I'm not always exact in my measurements. My family has just kind of gotten used to that with me. Let's see, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric. There is my turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, quarter teaspoon of cardamom, and it only calls for 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon. I don't know, we really love cinnamon, but for now I'm just going to kind of go along with the recipe. I'll just make sure it's a heaping 1/4 teaspoon because we really like cinnamon. And then 1 teaspoon of cumin. And 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. All right, and now I'm just going to mix it all together. Okay, it is all blended and it smells really, really good. So I'll take you over to just the couple of other ingredients that we need. Okay, so it needs chicken, and she used chicken breast, so I went ahead and pulled some boneless, skinless chicken breast out of the freezer. And this has already been opened, so I think there's like maybe five or so large chicken breasts in here. And then the other thing she used was a mixture of diced tomatoes and tomato sauce. And she used 3 cans of it. So what I have here, I decided to pull these instead of just plain diced tomatoes. I pulled these diced tomatoes with green chilies, but it's very mild. So I think that will be good instead of just plain diced. And then I just pulled a jar of my homemade tomato sauce. This is very liquidy, and a lot of that water is going to cook off. But we like a very saucy mixture, especially if we're going to put it over rice. So I think that will work. And then at the end of the recipe, it calls for coconut cream to be mixed in. So this is something I already had in the pantry. We are cooking from the pantry right now with all of this coronavirus stuff going on. We are using what we have. And so these were ingredients I had in stock. Didn't have to go buy anything. And I'm just going to go ahead and put it together. So I'm just going to put my chicken in the bottom, pour my tomato sauce and seasoning over it, and set it. I've already started the crock pot. It is on just the regular slow cooker. This is my Power Pressure Cooker XL, which I can pressure cook in, but it also has a slow cooker setting. So it was already out on the counter. So that is why I'm using this one instead of my Instant Pot or something like that. So let me go ahead and get everything mixed up and in the pot. Okay guys, I kind of just layered the seasoning in there. I put a good sprinkle over the chicken and then poured my tomato in and then put another sprinkle on top. I'm just going to let it cook like this, and then I'll come and stir it in an hour or so and kind of mix it in. But I want that seasoning to really stick to the chicken and seep into it. And it says the last 30 minutes or so, I believe, is when you put in the cream right before you're ready to serve it. So whenever I come in and start the rice, then I'll toss the cream in, and I used about half of it. It was a good full 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of the seasoning in there, and I'm debating on putting the rest. I just don't want it to be overpowering. So I think this is good. I think 2.5 tablespoons of this seasoning is going to be good in here for this amount of chicken. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on it and head back to work. Okay, I just wanted to show you, this is about how much of the seasoning is left over. This is just one of like the spice jars you can get from, I want to say Dollar Tree or something like that. But just quickly wrote out a label. I didn't print one out because I don't know if this is something I'm going to end up keeping, but written out label, toss it up in the spice cabinet. Hey guys, my crock pot says I have 30 minutes left, or it says 29. I just started my rice, so I'll bring it to a boil, then flip it off and let it cook. So while my rice is coming to a boil, I'm going to head back to the office for a little bit longer in a minute. But I'm going to go ahead and open this, show you what it looks like, shred it up, and then add my coconut cream. Okay, this is what it looks like inside. Very liquidy, but I knew it was going to be liquidy because I used my homemade sauce in here, but that's okay. We like it to be a lot of sauce over rice and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and get this shredded and then add my cream. Okay, I believe the recipe said you could use coconut milk, coconut cream, or heavy whipping cream. I just grabbed this, which is coconut cream, out of the pantry. So that's personally what I'm using, but I believe the recipes that I saw online said you have an option. So I'm going to go ahead and add this in. It's all shredded up. My rice is coming to a boil, so we are on track. All right, that is dumped in there. I'm just going to mix it all up. And then put the lid on for another, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. It could be eaten right now, but I'm going to go ahead and let the rice cook. And I need to go back to work for a while still. And then when I come back in, I will make some veggies to go with this. All right, guys, it is all ready to go. I let it cool just a little bit, and it started thickening up nicely. So the squash and zucchini veggies that I decided to make to go along with dinner are just about done. Rice is done, and I'm going to get dinner dished up. All right, guys, here is dinner all dished up. We have some jasmine rice with the chicken tikka masala over the top, and some yellow squash and zucchini that I have just seasoned up really well and cooked in a little bit of bacon grease and coconut oil. So this is what we're having for dinner. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Have a great night.